Whispers of Time, rebuilding your life with subtle insights. Have you ever felt like your life is a collapsed building, and suddenly you find yourself standing amidst the ruins, wondering how to start again from here? Join us as we explore what history has taught us about rebuilding our lives, with the gentle whispers of time bringing us meaningful lessons. Welcome back to today's episode of Whispers of Time. Today, we will explore how to listen to the subtle messages, the gentle whispers from history that can help us rebuild our lives after facing challenges. This is not just a story about what we have lost, but also a story about the opportunities that come after everything else seems to have gone. Let's start with the story of Julius Caesar. In 49 BC, when Caesar suddenly decided to cross the Rubicon River, he made a choice that served as a reminder to himself and others of the possibility of rebuilding life from ruins. Caesar faced an irreversible decision, filled with fear and risk. Yet, it was precisely those moments that opened a new path for Rome, providing us with an invaluable lesson in courage. Caesar's decision is considered a historical turning point, setting off a chain of events that would change the destiny of the Roman Empire. When he crossed the Rubicon, his famous words, "Alia iacta est," the die, is cast, not only affirmed his determination, but also reflected the courage it takes to face uncertainty. This reminds us that sometimes, to move forward, we need to make decisions that we cannot turn back from, and courage will help us get through the toughest times. Next, let's revisit the story of Thomas Edison. After countless failures, Edison finally invented the electric light bulb. Instead of letting failure bring him down, he turned those setbacks into essential steps on the road to success. Edison reminds us that it is not failure that destroys us, but how we recover from it that truly matters. Throughout his journey, Edison experimented over 1,000 times before achieving success. When asked about those failures, he responded, "I have not failed 1,000 times. I have simply found 1,000 ways that do not work." It was his persistence and positive outlook on failure that allowed him to turn challenges into learning opportunities, ultimately achieving the success he dreamed of. This teaches us that failure is not the end. It is merely a part of the process of reaching success. We can also learn from the life of Nelson Mandela. After over 27 years in prison, Mandela chose not to seek revenge. Instead, he rebuilt a nation, bringing black and white people closer together, and implemented policies that foster peace. Mandela helps us understand that the power of the human spirit can build and maintain peace, even when we face adversity. Mandela endured years of suffering and loneliness in prison, yet he did not let hatred dominate his heart. Instead, he chose reconciliation, working toward a common future for the people of South Africa. One of the invaluable lessons Mandela left us is about forgiveness and steadfastness. He once said, "Freedom is not just the absence of chains, but living in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others." This emphasizes that, to rebuild our lives, we need to let go of past burdens and seek peace within ourselves. Finally, a lesson from the life of Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo encountered many setbacks and challenges regarding his ideas about art and science. Yet, thanks to those setbacks, he continued to search, never resting. This drive made him one of the most versatile geniuses in human history. Leonardo was not only a great painter, but also a scientist, inventor, and philosopher. He was endlessly curious and constantly explored every aspect of life. His notes on anatomy, engineering, and nature have contributed significantly to advancements in various scientific fields. This shows us that sometimes rebuilding is not just about recreating what has been lost, but also about discovering new things and opening up horizons we never imagined. Beyond these stories, we can find many other examples in history. Take the story of Winston Churchill during World War II. When Britain faced the threat of Nazi Germany, Churchill stood with unwavering determination and courage. He inspired a whole nation, transforming despair into hope and strength. Churchill's lesson is about persistence and bravery, especially in the darkest moments. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the fields. We shall never surrender. These words were not just slogans, but reminders of the power of will and courage in the face of adversity. We cannot forget the story of Abraham Lincoln either. Before becoming one of the greatest presidents of the United States, Lincoln went through numerous failures, failed businesses, lost elections, and the death of loved ones. But he never gave up. Those failures forged his patience, compassion, and exceptional leadership. Lincoln led the country through the Civil War, ended slavery, and left behind a legacy of freedom and equality. From Lincoln, we learned that failure is not the end, but a stepping stone toward greater successes. Look at the story of Marie Curie, one of the greatest scientists in history. She was not only the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, but also the only person to win Nobel Prizes in two different fields, physics and chemistry. During her research on radioactivity, Marie Curie faced seemingly insurmountable difficulties. Dangerous working conditions, financial hardship, and societal prejudice against women in science did not stop her. Instead of giving up, Marie Curie persevered in her research, and her contributions changed the way we understand matter and energy. From her, we learned that persistence and genuine passion can change the world. We must also mention the story of Mahatma Gandhi, who led the independence movement for India through nonviolent means. Gandhi faced oppression, violence, and imprisonment from the British colonial authorities. Yet, he chose the path of nonviolence, of not seeking revenge. He once said, "You may chain me, you may torture me, you may even destroy my body, but you will never imprison my mind." Gandhi demonstrated that the power of spirit and determination can overcome any obstacle and win freedom for an entire nation. He taught us about the strength of steadfastness and compassion, even in the face of injustice. Another example is the story of Helen Keller, who lost both her sight and hearing as a young child, but went on to become a writer, social activist, and symbol of extraordinary perseverance. With the help of her teacher, Anne Sullivan, and her own strong will, Helen learned to communicate, write, and even graduated from college. She wrote numerous books and became an advocate for people with disabilities worldwide. Helen Keller is clear proof that, no matter how impossible life may seem, perseverance and determination can lift us up and turn difficulties into strength. Let's also discuss the story of J.K. Rowling, author of the globally famous Harry Potter series. Before becoming a successful author, Rowling went through a very difficult period. She was a single mother living on welfare and faced dozens of rejections from publishers before her work was accepted. Yet, she never gave up on her dream and eventually found tremendous success. Rowling's story shows us that even in the darkest moments, we can still make our dreams come true if we keep striving and believe in ourselves. And let us remember the story of Walt Disney, the founder of the largest animation studio in the world. Before becoming a symbol of creativity and entertainment, Disney faced many failures. He was once fired for lacking creative ideas, and his first company went bankrupt. But Walt Disney did not give up. He continued to pursue his dreams and ultimately built a global entertainment empire. The lesson from Disney is about the importance of creativity and perseverance. No matter how many times we fail, we can always get back up and start again. Dear friends, the stories from history are precious lessons that help us accumulate wisdom from our challenges. When we face things that seem to have destroyed our lives, the whispers from the past can remind us of the strength of patience, courage, and most importantly, forgiveness. These lessons not only help us overcome difficulties, but also help us become stronger, more mature, and find the true meaning of life. At the end of this video, what do you think about these lessons? Do you have any personal stories that we can share and learn from together? Let's discuss and share your thoughts in the comments section.